Over the past few days, I've noticed that the term Silent Hill has been trending on my X feed, and I didn't pay any attention to it because I assumed that the buzz was related to Ascension. If we look through one of their recent posts, it's indeed quite popular, for all the wrong reasons. But it turns out something else is going on, and it has nothing to do with Konami's IP at all, but rather with Hideo Kojima's recently announced teaser for OD. When it was first introduced during the Game Awards, many have noticed the door which Kojima used to enter the stage that looks very similar to the one found in PT. I did a side-by-side comparison using a couple of screenshots from the Game Archivist's playthrough, link in the description if you want to watch it. As you can see here, they're almost exactly identical, from the design of the door itself to the fluorescent light placed above, and even the wire that's powering it is positioned in a similar way. Without a doubt, this is definitely a reference to PT, and not long after the OD teaser was released, people found a couple more. For the following section, we'll be using a copy directly from Kojima Productions' YouTube channel as reference. If we pause the video at 9.19 seconds and boost the brightness, you'll notice an image on the right side of the frame, spotted by Russ Update of OD_Kojima community on Reddit. This image shares a similarity with PT's brightness adjustment guide. While these two don't match up, unlike the previous one, they're both representations of the same thing, an MRI scan. In fact, if we scrub through the timeline frame by frame as it disappears, the animation we get is very similar to what is generated by the said machine. These two references are directed towards PT, but there's another discovery that's most likely related to Silent Hill. As posted by Central Xbox on X, a series of letters can be found in the mouth of Udo Kier as he recites the lines about the hungry dinosaur. I checked this out, and it seems they're only on the screen for one frame, which makes them impossible to spot on a normal playback. If you'd like to see it for yourself, the first letter can be found at 40.19 seconds. The second one is at 43.16, while the next one is at 45.08. And the last two letters is at 47.02 and 53.07 seconds respectively. Keep in mind that this video is at 30 FPS drop frame, and we have to boost the exposure a lot to see it. In my opinion, as somebody who knows his way around compositing softwares, both the MRI image and these letters are not some trick of the light or video compression artifacts. These two are deliberate insertions, just like the reflections coming from the actor's eyes. The letters form to make up the word Atami, and upon Google searching this, the first page all indicate towards a city in the Shizuoka Prefecture, southwest of Tokyo. This place was allegedly used as a model by Team Silent for the first game's urban environments, and the word Shizuoka in kanji can be roughly translated into English as Silent Hill, among several others. There's a Reddit post by TSB Novel on the Silent Hill community that explains all of this, and is apparently a bit of unverified information that's been around for a long time, as this post was from 10 years ago. The question now is, why did Mr. Kojima place those three references in the first place? In most cases, when a video game alludes to another, there's usually just one that only slightly touches upon the subject, because if you have several, there's a risk that it might be interpreted as being more than an Easter egg. So, to have three of them pointing towards the same general direction certainly warrants a closer look. The possibility of three major entities collaborating on a game is highly improbable. Usually it's just between two. We have Kojima Productions developing the game, while Xbox Studios provide support and most likely the one who will publish OD when it's finished. So, what is Konami's role in all of this? While it's true that they're lending that IP to third-party developers, as we've seen from their consecutive announcements earlier this year, The chances of Mr. Kojima to join in is very slim, especially with what happened. Remember that his separation from Konami wasn't exactly a clean cut, and if you need a refresher, there's an excellent video in the Great Debate YouTube channel that provides a summary of what happened. It explains the lead up to HK's firing in conjunction with a theory on the meaning behind PT. The second reason why he won't borrow it is simply because he said so. If you recall an interview that he had with Shuka Yamada of IGN last year, he's quite adamant about creating his own and not licensing from others. Besides, if Konami was part of that project, it would have been announced during OD's segment in the Game Awards, as it was the best time to do so. There's absolutely no reason to conceal it at that point. With that said, I do have a possible explanation that would clear things up without breaking the law of simplicity. Based on what we know so far, I think the PT and Silent Hill references are Mr. Kojima's ways of saying to his fans that OD is going to be the Silent Hills game fans have been asking for. But because the things he referenced, like Atami and the MRI image, don't fall within a protected domain, he doesn't have to pay Konami anything. The door might be a problem, but then again, it was just used as a stage prop and not seen in the actual teaser. I would not be surprised if Koji Pro changes its design in-game, but that's okay, because the message is loud and clear. With regards to the overall direction that this upcoming game might take, remember that at the end of PT, there's a line that says this demo is not representative of the final product, which also never existed because it got cancelled. This means Mr. Kojima can use that for OD to do whatever he wants and still indirectly associate it with Silent Hills. I'm not saying that HK is on a revenge path with Konami, but if he was, this is an ingenious way to do it. OD by itself is already a fulfillment of the fans' requests for a horror game, and now, thanks to this revelation, those who have been clamoring for Silent Hills specifically get to have what they want, while sticking it to the company that fired him unceremoniously after decades of service. Everybody gets to have their cake and eat it too, regardless if it was intentional or not. I keep recalling that monologue from the male character in PT towards the end of the demo. A popular theory is that the one speaking represents Koji Pro, and his boring father who suddenly eliminates him is Konami. But what about the last line? Death Stranding, for the most part, is so far removed from his previous works that it doesn't seem to fit the story. OD, based on what we know now, does. So, I'm starting to wonder if this game is going to be the fulfillment of "I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me." But what do you think? Do you agree with my assessment of the references? Or is there another explanation for it? Kindly let me know in the comment section.